talk about this. Don't blow it. Don't blow it in the first minute. We almost there. It's, showtime.
5:30 PM, I call the Mount Morris Township Board meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Ms. King,
Present.
Ms. Loper,
Present.
Mr. Baxter,
Present.
Mr. Green,
Present.
myself present. Mr. Mays is absent. Ms. Jonah,
Present.
6 present, 1 absent.
Need a motion to approve the agenda for the board meeting August the 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
With one addition, we have some bids in regards to the downspouts from the fire department. From the last rain, it didn't exhaust out like it's supposed to and went inside the building. And we have a drain over by the senior center that is caving in. And I put it out for bids and received them back, and we got 2 more today. I need that to be added to the agenda at the end, please. Making a motion to add it. Do I get support?
Support. So we can talk about it.
Drain.
Yep.
What's your-
This is supporting to amend the
Yep.
agenda. To approve agenda, I'm sorry.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yeah, Mr. Mays.
I didn't hear it, so I'm not gonna vote.
Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Motion carry 6-1. 6 with 1 abstaining, I'm sorry.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting August 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
Have a motion by Loper, supported by Keenan, to approve the minutes of the board meeting August 11th, 2025. Is there any addition or deletions? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Mays.
Yes.
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
Need approval of payment of the bills from August the 7th, 2025 through August the 20th of 25 in the amounts of $791,035.45. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Have a motion by Baxter, supported by Kane, to approve payment of the bills from August 7th to August the 20th of 2025 in the amount of $791,035.45. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Mays.
Yes.
Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
This time, we set aside public comments on agenda items only. Anyone wishing to address the board in regards to agenda items only? Seeing none, I'll close public comments. Unfinished business, request to approve payable policy. Need a motion to remove?
So moved.
Support.
have a motion by King, supported by Baxter, to remove the request to approve the township payable policy. Any further discussion? Roll
I-
call.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll ask after I'm done. Sorry, after we're done voting.
Roll call.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays.
Yes.
Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Okay, what's your pleasure in regards to approving the payable policy?
What are the changes? This has been on the table for 3 different meetings. What is different? What are we doing differently?
Good evening, Supervisor Green, Township Board members. This agenda item, as you had said, has been on the board meeting agenda for a while. At the last meeting, I was asked to speak with both the clerk and the treasurer regarding this proposed policy. While the clerk still feels very strongly that there needs to be a change, treasurer does not. So it's somewhat at an impasse. As I look at it, as the policy that's in the financial policies and procedures, seem to be of late working, so I'm not quite sure how to reach a consensus on this. So I'm bringing it back to the body. I feel the desire to speak with both department heads, and clerk still feels strongly that there's a need, treasurer feels that there is not.
So what it is with me is that when we, the payables policy, when we cut the checks, we have a board meeting, the clerk's office is immediately cutting those warrants, those checks out to where we have to pay. We're finding out at one particular time, because this has been on the agenda for, I don't know how long, at least 3 meetings per se. We were finding that our checks were becoming, they were disappearing, getting lost, and we incur late fees and stuff like that for some of our merchants that we have dealt with. So I came to Latrell and I said, hey, we got to put some kind of boundary and some kind of boundaries in place, because at the time the treasurer office is dealing with staffing issues and everything, to where that our status in the community in this county doesn't become a kind of bad thing of us not writing checks that we need to write out or get out per se. And I guess he took it back to Ms. Jonna for her spill of it, but that's just me protecting the township's ability to do business in the area, because right now we have some merchants that are concerned about the net 30, us paying bills on time, and he rest assured to me that this is not an issue right now, because from what he can see, but with dealing with staffing issues with the treasurer's office, we just never know if this can happen again. So I was asking the board that we need to put some time, just like the clerk's office have a time restraint for when we have to cut checks, that the treasurer's office have the same thing. We can't leave a blanket to when she co-signs a check to our merchants.
Those checks go out the next day. You have the checks tomorrow, we just approved these. Those checks with the invoices are typically in my inbox, and they're signed, and they go out the next day.
Well, somehow they're not getting there a
I'm not
month or two later.
responsible for the U.S. Postal Service, and if there are certain merchants that aren't receiving their bills in a timely manner, then your department should consider ACH payments, especially for checks that we have that are thousands and thousands of dollars, putting those in the mail. Those are things that can be done by your office and your department. And as far as needing 4 days to cut a check, we have insurance folks that go through insurance that we need checks that day. And then when we have payouts that we're responsible to send to Treasury, we need to make sure those payouts are done in a timely manner.
Well, not
4
to not,
days is
not to have
excessive.
not a go back and forth, but I stand by what I say, and also that we can see that they're not getting there. So if there's a month, we never had this problem before. So I'm just asking, when you saying you mailing, I'm just saying that they're not getting them.
Then
There's been
maybe
times where we almost been cut off by Blue Cross and all that stuff. So, and
those are
it's
very
just-
large checks, and those are things that should not be put in the U.S. postal mail. Those are approved automatic payments that we pay on a regular basis, that there should be ACH transactions going automatically to these vendors.
Well, it could and should, but past practice, if we use that term, everything has always worked properly before. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to put safeguards up so that the township is moving forward and that we're able to pay our vendors on time. So that's the way the bills policy came to light.
Did I understand you correctly when you said that there is not an issue now, that there's enough staffing or some more staffing in the treasurer's office?
Where-
And this was something that happened?
This has happened earlier, but and I'm just saying not to happen
Right.
again because they're still lacking and they still have openings within her department. And it's just something that is kind of like the speed limit. You know it's there. You go over, you go under, you can be criticized either way. But I think we need to set boundaries in place just in case me or her or whoever is not in place that, hey, you got to get these checks out. We need to pay our vendors.
Well, what would you have done today if someone with an insurance check for a fire would have come in? You had no one in your department to cut a check.
But that has never happened before, so we can't talk about the
Well,
what ifs.
Never say never, but there was literally no one in your department to cut a check.
But we
today.
do know that these vendors weren't getting paid. That's a fact. We can't talk about what ifs. Let's
And
talk
go
about
back
facts.
to them, look at those vendors, and create ACH payments for them in the future.
It never was a problem before, is what I'm saying.
I have a question. There's a couple things that I see is happening. Number one, even if we cut them checks in a timely manner, if it's going to the U.S. Post, what if it does get lost in the mail? What if it's stolen? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of what ifs. And we have been dealing on past practices for so long. It is time for us to move from past practices. Everybody is doing automatic payment, and it is a safer way for us to pay our bills and have a tracking on it. You cannot track the U.S. Postal Mail. That is so antiquated. I mean, it's called snail mail. So I agree with you with the checks being cut in a timely manner, but that still does not solve the issue of us not getting the check to them in a timely manner as far as this putting it in the post office and taking it to the, I mean, that's.
But that all falls under the treasurer because, like you seen before, that she sent out an email to all of you and said that the tax disbursement checks wasn't cut, and I had reassured her that they were, that they went to her deputy. It was some kind of failed communication between them two. We do, and we can prove that we have always done what we've done.
It took 10
It
days
just-
to get those
let me
disbursements
finish right
cut.
quick.
Finish.
And so, once we do our part, we cut the warrants, we do the checks, we send them off, she could sign them, and sometimes they've been sitting there for days.
So how is that going to stop us putting a policy? I guess I'm trying to understand, how is us putting a policy in place going to stop them from getting out mail late?
It's
I mean, the
actually
checks
going
will
to
be,
delay
if
it.
the checks
Wait,
is
she's got
done
the floor.
in a timely manner, which is what he's asking, which should be done by your office.
It is.
Even if it's done in a timely manner, how is that going to guarantee that it's not going to be late because we put it in the mail? What is your policy going to do?
The clerk's office is asking, since the policy gives him X number of days to get the checks to the treasurer should have the same number of days to get them dispersed. Regardless of the procedure we use to disperse them, right now, it says the clerk's department has to have it within 4 days of the board approving to the treasurer.
I get that.
It doesn't say anything how long it takes the treasurer to disperse that. And we've had several late fees and charges in regards to receiving the checks. Now, there's other procedures to making that faster, but it should be done within a timely manner.
It is
and
done
there
in a
should
timely
be-
manner.
Let me finish.
I'm not
And it should
responsible for the
be-
U.S. Postal Service, Mr.
It should
Green.
be set up that she has X number of days, the same as the clerk, and then they can bring to us something that says, we want to use this procedure to speed up the process. That's all. The policy only addresses one side of the coin. This gives you both sides, holds them both responsible, and the board can get the information in regards to dispersing the checks in other ways than what we've been doing in the past.
I think our
Okay.
finance director had some issues in addition to this that maybe we need to take a look at when it comes to our payables policy. Am I thinking right, Terrell?
Thank you for the opportunity to clarify. On pages 15 and 16 of the financial policy, it spells out both of the items that you all have touched. On page 15, it talks about the processing of claims in paragraph 4-46, and that says essentially the request for payment shall be submitted to the accounting department. The accounting department is made up of the clerk,
Right.
treasurer, and myself, at least 7 to 14 days prior to the board meetings at which they are to be approved. Then it also addresses on page 16, the actual processing that happens after the approval that happens at the board, which essentially says that they should be processed, printed, and present for signatures and dispatched the day after the board meeting. Those are the policies that are in place right now. Those are the policies that I believe still will work for us. The matter that the clerk mentioned has happened. We have had occasions where vendors did notify us that they received late, but there were also occasions, as what was cited in this audit that they related to, where disbursements were actually sent out because they were delayed on the other side. I think that there are incidences where staffing has impacted both departments and potentially will impact both departments. But the policy that's in place is based on procedures that are done by most townships and was provided by the Michigan Township Association.
Right.
We're following that policy. The auditors, the audit again tonight have not had the occasions to where they have actually seen an issue with it there. So I'm hopeful that with better communication and cooperation that this will just be removed from the agenda and the policy kept in place and we continue to monitor it and move forward.
So, do you see, as far as our budget is concerned, do you see where it would be a problem with some of our important vendors to where did you go? ACH payments?
There's actually, thank you for that, because also in the policy and procedure manual it authorizes ACH.
Right.
And yes, those large ones, I believe on the statements like the Blue Cross and some of the larger ones, they actually have a statement on there with us instructions for ACH processing. It's just not a practice that we've done in the past there, but the policy does allow us to do that there. So to answer your question, absolutely. I believe that there's an opportunity for not only Blue Cross, but Terra and some of the other larger ones that we are routinely paying large checks with each month or particularly in the quarter that could expedite and actually assist with the staffing issue.
Exactly, exactly.
Just being one button push.
And this policy doesn't address the ACH issue.
It does address ACH. It does say that if we identify the vendors, long as the board through
The policy change we're discussing now doesn't address it. That's what I'm saying.
policy presently
Does address it.
Addresses
does
it.
address it. It does allow for ACHs. It does allow for, it does require notification so that we know which vendors are receiving those, that we're just not doing a spot. So we would put a list of who's getting the ACHs, and then that would be the manner that we would put the bills.
And just let me interrupt real quick, Mr. Holmes. In the changes that are proposed in this policy now that we'll be voting on gives 4 more days for the clerk's office to process payouts to our taxing authorities. So that could slow things down where we're not able to meet our deadlines every 10 days. We have to pay out to our taxing authorities, and that's required by Treasury. So it's something that could cause even greater problems with our staffing issues.
I want to add something right quick. And this is just something asking if the clerk's office and the treasurer and a supervisor, if you all could get together and identify our payables, vendors that we should look at as being ACH. If you all could get together and identify them, and if we can do it, why not utilize it?
Exactly.
Budget, we got budget, all right? I don't understand.
Are you making a request that the,
Yes, that's a
is
request.
that a motion?
Can I get a motion?
Is that a motion?
Is that a motion? Yes, that is a motion.
Support.
Can you repeat the motion?
I would like to make a motion that the treasurer, the clerks, and the supervisor get together and identify our vendors that would, and talk about our vendors that we should put on ACH.
Can we include the finance director in
And the
those
finance
discussions?
director, I'm sorry.
Support, if it hasn't already been supported.
Have a motion on the floor by Mr. Mays, supported by Mrs. King, that the treasurer, the clerk, the supervisor, and the finance director review our vendors that can be automatically according to the policy.
And one other question for our financial person. When checking into that, could you see if there's a possibility, if we put them on ACH, if we get a discount? Won't hurt to try.
A lot of times, yeah, a lot of
won't
times
be
when you
late.
sign up, you do get a small
Yeah.
discount, and so every little bit helps.
All right.
Any further discussion on the motion?
I just have a comment. Thank you, Board Trustee Mays. It's just, it has to get that we have to make a motion to have our three heads to have a conversation. We really need to look at that. This conversation probably should have been held ahead of time, so we wouldn't even have to have this vote. I truly hope that the three of you all can get together, have the conversation, and let us move forward as far as getting our vendors paid on time. And both clerk and treasurer's office, if things are not being paid on time, please let the board know so that we can figure out what we can do to make it move and get things paid in a timely manner. Because Dwayne is right, we don't want to have a bad reputation of not paying our bills.
But just so the board's aware, the change to this policy won't address that.
Well, that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Mays,
Yes.
Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Loper,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, vote unanimous. Yeah, but it is.
Next item on the agenda is deputy treasurer contract clarification. Need a motion to remove.
Motion to remove.
Support.
Have a motion by Baxter, supported by Allen, to remove deputy treasurer contract clarification for discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Ms. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Mays,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
John,
Yes.
will you go through this with us, please?
Which part?
The deputy treasurer's contract for clarifications in regards to the contract,
Sorry,
or the signing of the contract and getting the copies to the clerk and the supervisor so they can be reviewed for final signing.
I was not aware that you did not have a final copy of
Do not.
the, okay,
It
well,
was given to,
And when did you do that?
Yeah, it was given to me, and I expressed my, what happened. You asked me a couple emails, and I gave it to our attorney.
okay.
So, I guess, we don't have it, so we're gonna have to table it again.
I don't understand what I'm being asked, I apologize.
Neither do we.
I know
That's
there
the
were
same thing.
questions about whether she was salaried or hourly, and
That
when
was
her
one.
benefits came in. My understanding is that that was resolved. What is the open?
In filling out the contract according to the guidelines of proper address and information in regards to it, and I have not seen a copy of the contract.
If you haven't been presented, I was not presented with a new copy of the contract. If your concerns still exist, then there needs
Still exists. I haven't seen any changes to what was originally presented to my office in regards to that.
Okay.
I
I
know
move
that
that
there
we,
was the problem that it lacked an address for mailing. What were the other concerns that? Is,
Remember the address, and I remember,
She was to be compensated.
right, the compensation, because it had hourly and salary. It had a bunch of words that were,
Because our benefit packages state that they have to perform 40 hours of service on a weekly basis to be eligible for that.
yeah, so the language of the contract, and it's in, I believe, all the contracts we present, is that the terms of benefits are set by the provider. So in terms of health insurance and other benefits, it's up to the provider's requirements as to when you qualify. And my understanding is the providers, at least especially when it comes to health insurance, require 40 hours a week of actual service in order to qualify. So,
She doesn't receive that benefit.
So, let me just, this has been on the table for so long. I mean, so are we arguing the fact that she's not working it, or do we have a way to, what is it that we're,
Received a copy of the signed contract.
where is the signed contract? At first, we was talking about the address. Do you have the address now?
I will look for it. I don't think I received it.
Okay,
I was
so,
not made aware that there was.
so it's still on the table, and we don't have, nobody has received it. We don't know if she's turned in the address, so why did we untable it? Because we didn't get anything in our packet.
Nothing was
Okay.
provided.
Okay.
Okay.
So nothing was provided, so I make a motion that we put it back on the table and get the information, have some resolution before it comes back on
What
off the table.
exactly do you need? Her address?
Address, signed copy of the contract and clarification on wages.
Address, signed copy of the contract, and verification of.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to come back to the board to add, what did the board intend when it voted on this?
Larry?
Berknoullis?
What did you intend?
The intent was she's a probationary employee for 90 days, just like all new hired employees, before she receives any benefits, and a 40-hour week. And consequently, after 1 year, she received 1 week's vacation. At the end of the second year, she got, from 2 to 5 years, she got 2 weeks vacation, and 5 to 10, she got 3.
Yes, and that was
How
all.
about this, John? How about I send you the signed contract that I sent to Dwayne Allen that was approved, and then you can look that over?
Sure, okay.
Okay, that'll be our plan.
And then if anyone has specific concerns about the contract, please let me know.
I just wanted to make sure we know what we're voting on. That's my concern. What we're doing.
So just real quick, I do know that there has been some confusion based on her
Yes,
being
it
salaried
has.
versus her hourly, because salaried, there is no reduction in wage if you don't work 40 hours a week, but it seems that our providers operate on a different system where you have to actually work 40 hours to get certain benefits. So that's where I think we're coming in conflict with some of our insurance providers. Is that she basically, if she turns in a timesheet that says she worked 36 hours, that's okay under a salary. You just get your salary. But for our providers, especially the insurance provider, and I think one of the other providers, like that's
So are they saying 40 hours or full time? Because 32 hours can be considered full time. So
It says 40.
How does that work if this particular individual is not receiving any benefits?
does not intend to claim them, or just doesn't, or just isn't receiving.
She has medical elsewhere.
But she's
She's not claiming those, she's
Would she
not
take the
receiving those
check?
benefits.
Would she take the annual check, or
I don't believe she received one in July.
she wouldn't have? She was new hire, but coming up this coming.
What you need to have her sign something that states that she
as to do in lieu of.
increases all benefits of the township. What she's looking for is just a wage.
Yeah, because in that case, then we don't have a conflict with the salary.
Okay.
Then the salary is a salary, and she gets paid whatever,
Okay.
whatever the salary is.
and is the 40 hours only come into question when it's medical benefits?
Medical
Benefits
and
across the
pension,
board,
period.
sir?
Medical, dental, eye, and pension.
Okay. What about sick days and vacation days? Is that, I heard you say they had to do 40 hours a week to get that vacation, but sick days too?
The vacation is based on seniority,
Okay,
okay? And those other days are something that we've added for personal, and vacation is what we've added in the contract. Has no bearing in regards to the other benefits for medical, eye care, dental, and pension.
okay.
All three of those are different providers. The township provides the personal days and the vacation days.
Yeah, and I think the real trouble here is that we have a system that is predicated on hourly work, and then we're fitting a salary
Person
employee
into
into it.
hourly.
And so it's kind of breaking the machine, but if she's not taking the benefit,
That's what I was about to say. If she's not taking it, then it wouldn't even be applicable for her.
yeah,
This
I
is
was
our
under the
first
impression
knowledge
she
of it.
was wanting those benefits. If she doesn't want it, then that problem is resolved.
So, all
So
right,
address.
here we go again. Why is this contract different than everybody else's contract?
Exactly.
The deputies have traditionally been hourly employees.
They've never been salary.
Yeah. Don't we have, isn't Mr. Holmes a salary employee?
Not a deputy.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm thinking,
This will hopefully be resolved by the draft contract template that I have provided to the board for use.
Right?
Perfect.
Because we never had support, because it was all over the board.
Okay, I make a motion to put it back on the table so we figure out exactly.
Do I have a support?
Support.
Roll call.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Ms. Baxter. Mr. Green. Myself, yes. Mr. Mays.
yes,
Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
The vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda, under new business, is a truth and taxation hearing. Need a motion to close the regular meeting to go to the truth and taxation.
So moved.
support.
A motion by Keenan, supported by Mays, to close a regular meeting at 6:02 and go to truth and taxation. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays.
Yes,
Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Ms. Linda?
Good evening. Every year we hold our truth and taxation hearing. I do have a presentation up here for the general public if they want it. There's a copy up here. In your packet was basically a presentation, goes through the reason for truth and taxation. And if, without holding truth and taxation, you can see the difference between the millage reduction and the millage you're going to levy. So currently, with the millage Headley rollback, our operating is going to roll back to 4.4916 mils. Our police is rolling back to 6.4402 mils. And our fire is rolling back to 2.9724 mils. That's what would be levied on this year's taxes with the Headley millage reduction. Without holding a truth and taxation hearing, our revenues would only increase by 0.88%. Holding our truth and taxation hearing, your revenues are increasing by 3.01%. So what I'm looking for tonight is for the board to approve the proposed levies as stated and them to be listed out exactly as presented, operating at 4.4916, the police at 6.4402, and the fire at 2.9724 mils for a total levy of 13.9042 mils, so that we can do our 4029 for levying taxes for winter.
Any citizens' comments? Any citizens' comments? What's the board's pleasure?
Make a motion that we approve the proposed millages individually stated for operating 4.4916 2.916 mils, police 6.4402 mils, fire 2.9724 mils, for a total proposed levy of 13.9042 mils
For 2025?
for 2025.
We have a motion by Allen, supported by Keenan, to approve the truth and taxation hearing with the police millage at 6.4402, the fire millage at 2.9724, and the township operating at 4.4916, for a total millage levy of 13.9042 for 2025. Any further discussion on the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna ask, because no one from the public asked, so I'm gonna ask, what does that mean for my taxes?
So what that means for your taxes, the consumer price index this year was 3.01%. So all that the revenue is increasing is by that consumer price index of 3.01%. And that is all the tax that we can levy for the 2025 year.
So it's gonna be a 3.3.
3.01%.
3.10 on my tax.
Correct. Last year was 5%. This year is actually lower.
All right. Thank you.
Any further questions? Roll call.
Mr. Baxter?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Need a motion to go back to the regular board meeting and close the truth and taxation hearing.
So moved.
Support.
It's 6:06 PM. Motion by Keenan, supported by Loper, to close the truth and taxation and go back to the regular board meeting. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Mr. Baxter?
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda, we're gonna move things around a little bit, is the audit presentation for 24-25.
Good evening. My name's Mike Rolka. Seems very loud. Is that all right? My name's Mike Rolka with Yo and Yo CPAs. I've been conducting the audit of the township for the past several years now, and so many of you are familiar faces. Each year I report the audit results to you, and so that's what I intend to do now. Going to go over what our opinion is on the financial statements, what an audit really means, what some of our comments and findings and recommendations are, and then just a very high-level touch on what some of the numbers look like. In front of you, you should have a brief presentation with the clear cover. It'd be a blue cover. So firstly, we'll talk about what is an audit and how does it work. So with an audit, management has some responsibilities, and those would include the fair presentation of the financial statements, that they're materially presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, and also that there's a set of internal controls in place that are implemented, monitored, reviewed, such as the discussion on your payables policy earlier this evening. Our responsibility is to look at those internal controls, identify risks, develop audit procedures, conduct those procedures in order to give an opinion on the financial statements about whether they're materially presented and there's reasonable assurance for that. So that doesn't mean absolute assurance, because we cannot look at every single transaction. If we looked at every single transaction of the township, we'd be here year-round, and it'd cost you guys $1 million. So we do it on a test basis. With that, and this is what really is the bottom line of our audit, our financial statement audit, is an unmodified opinion. And that's what you want to hear every single time I stand before you, is that it's an unmodified opinion. What that means is there's reasonable assurance that these financial statements are materially correct, meaning the big numbers are right, there could be minor errors, but the big stuff is correct. So keep in mind, that's what you want to hear every year. Moving forward, just a couple of pie charts and trend charts to just get a general idea of what the finances look like. And I guess I should point out and recall, year end is March 31, 2025, so this is a snapshot of that year or as of that date. So let's talk about the revenues in the general fund. State grants largely make up most of the revenues, followed by property taxes. That's probably no surprise to any of you sitting here. The actual allocations of the revenues in the general fund are fairly consistent year over year, with the exception of a drop in state grants, because as you may recall, last year there was a large pension grant, and that was really a one-time grant for the pension system of $1.1 million. Property taxes were up just a little bit, maybe $100,000 in total. Federal grants are very low this year, as ARPA funds have been used up. Next, we'll look at a snapshot of the expenditures. It should be no surprise that the bulk of the expenditures in the general fund is related to general government, and what that represents is board expenditures, supervisors department, clerks, treasurers, finance directors, assessors, the employee benefits, really everything it takes to operate the general functions of the township. There's some public safety expenditures, public works expenditures. Those include road and street lightings, and then a small amount of other functions. Every year, you probably would expect to see 80% plus in that general government category for your expenses. So let's put it together on the next slide. This gives you a picture of the last 5 years and what it looked like year over year. And you can see year over year, revenues and expenses have tracked pretty similarly, where there's been, additions to fund balance in each of the given years. The reason for the decrease this year compared to 2024, again, is because of that pension grant. So that was a one-time increase in revenues, but also directly offsetted by an increase in expense. That folds into your fund balance in the general fund. There's $1.7 million in fund balance, and of that, the unassigned portion, so portions that are available for spending, that haven't been committed, that aren't restricted to anything, it's about 23% of your annual operating expenditures. And so that is a healthy fund balance. The GFOA recommends somewhere between 15 and 25%. All boards and councils really have to establish their own comfort level, but 24% is healthy.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
I looked at how the fund balance, it was in 2021, 14 million. In 2022, it was about 15 million, and it stayed right around at 15 million in 2023. Then it dropped significantly down to about 12 million. Now it's back up to the 17 million. What do you attribute for that increase? Such a 1 point. That's what I meant.
I knew what you meant.
You knew what I was trying to say.
Yep.
But I'm trying to figure out, what do you attribute to making it rise? So it went higher than the year of 22 and 23.
Yep.
Was it monies that we got in from some particular area?
Nope. In this case, it was a restatement of the fund balance in 2025. We identified an error and an overtransfer to the refuse fund. So that added back funds to the general fund.
Okay.
And I'll discuss that a little bit more later.
Okay, I just noticed.
No, good question.
That's
Thank
all.
you. Regardless, what I want you to take out of this slide really is that the unassigned fund balance is healthy. The fund balance of the general fund is healthy. It's at a good level. On the following slide, you'll see a little bit about the water and sewer operations. What I try to look at here is, our operating revenues and operating expenses generally tracking together. So are your rates covering your expenses? And you'll see operating expenses was a little bit more than the operating revenues this year, but not by much. So they're really quite closely related. And if you were to take out non-cash items such as depreciation, that's what that gray line is down at the bottom, your revenues far exceeded the cash outlays.
And board, so you understand, we had not done shut-off notices for water and sewer in quite some time. And so we recently did that, so you're gonna see this change probably next year.
Significant increase to revenues.
Yes.
People tend to pay when you start shutting off.
When the shut-off notices, you come in, and they've
Yeah.
come in substantially over the past week. So,
Excellent. The next couple of slides are related to the pension and OPEB system. So the pension system is 61% funded. You can see there's $28.5 million set aside in a trust with MERS towards the pension plan, and the projected liability, which is set forth by the actuaries doing their calculations, is $47.2 million. The 61% funded amount is kind of important to understand because the state has been targeting 60% for local governments for the past several years now. With the assistance of that pension grant, you guys have now bumped over that, meaning you wouldn't have to do any sort of corrective action plans in order to meet what their new requirements are. Now, on the retiree health care plan, or OPEB plan, this is not very much funded at all. 1% funded, there's just about $300,000 as compared to a projected liability of $21 million. But what the state targets there is a 40% funding. However, there's other criteria that goes into the calculation about whether the state requires a corrective action plan. And in the case of the township, you do not meet the criteria for a corrective action plan because of certain ratios with your revenue collected to the ADC, that's the actuarially determined contribution, as well as the fact that you're making your pay-as-you-go payments. So none of the retirees are not receiving their benefits. They're all being paid as you go. It's still always a good idea to fund that if you're capable of funding it. Now, with the financial statements, we always present a letter to the board that goes over any of our findings or recommendations, audit adjustments, new standards, and so what I'll do now is go over the highlights of that letter and let you know really everything you need to know that's included in there. So firstly, these are required communications to you all, the board. We did have one past audit adjustment, meaning there would be an adjustment, but we did not post it because it was not considered material. Really, this was something that occurred last year that we discussed with all of you last year, but still has an impact on the current period. That is taken care of as of March 31, 2025, and I wouldn't put too much concern on that. We have some new accounting standards, GASB Standard 100, which is a new way for disclosing error corrections or new accounting standards, how those have had an impact on the financial statements. GASB Statement 101 is the new compensated absence accounting standard, so that would be vacation pay, sick pay, earned time off, whatever you may call it. How do you record the accrual for those liabilities? So the GASB said, hey, everybody's doing this a little bit different. Let's get everybody on the same page on how to make this estimation. And so those were implemented this year. We looked them over. We looked over the finance director's calculation for the GASB 101, and we believe it has been appropriately implemented. Now, we did have some correction of errors that was related to that transfer that I noted, or that you questioned why did the fund balance go up so much, so that was a piece of it. And another error in the inventory value for the fuel inventory was corrected as well. It was overstated. We had other audit adjustments. One of them was $600,000, no net effect. It was to record other financing sources and capital outlay related to the fire truck purchase. So although no cash actually went out, the governmental accounting standards require that we record the capital outlay and other financing sources, and that it is then budgeted for too. So that's something always to keep in mind whenever you enter into a lease or a new installment purchase or a software subscription that has to go on as a long-term debt item. You always have to budget for that full principal amount in that first year. It has no real effect, no net effect, there's no cash that goes out. It's often overlooked, but it's something that's required.
Repeat that long-term.
Yep, something that might become long-term debt, so that puts you into a long-term contract. So if you think about this fire truck, maybe it's over 5 years, I don't recall off the top of my head, but you know you're on the hook for the payments to that. And so that has to run through the governmental funds for the full principal amount as capital outlays as well as other financing sources. So no net effect, they net out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We also adjusted the OPEB investments in the OPEB trust and made a correction to the ARPA fund to get that closed out correctly this year. With that fire truck entry, that also caused a material budget overage because, you know, if you forget about recording the accounting for it, you're probably going to forget about doing the budget for it. So we have to report that as well. And then the last thing to make you all aware of was the untimely tax distributions. So we tested one and identified it was not made timely, and then the Treasurer's Department provided a schedule of disbursements, and so there were 5 untimely tax disbursements during the year. State law requires that those be made within 10 business days of the 1st and 15th of the month. And so, you know, however you guys determine to model this payables policy, it needs to fit for the taxes to be able to make that happen. In the letter, I provided 2 viable options. You know, one, work on the 10-day distribution model that you guys are currently under and figure out a way to make that work. Or 2, it does allow for other agreements with whom you have to send the money to, that maybe you have to extend it. If you get an agreement with them, oh, we only send monthly disbursements. But you have to mutually agree upon that. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Mr. Baxter?
I'm trying to find it. We got a presentation of DaVita, or but there is a statement, I'm trying to find it in here, that there is a recommendation that maybe sometimes you could use that to clarify some of for the audited procedure, but I can't see where I marked it. But, I'm just curious, how many municipalities use that type of service that you know of, and does it make a difference in, like, the auditing program?
I'm not sure what that is. I'm afraid to admit, I suppose. What is that?
It's an automated service.
Oh.
It's used throughout Metro Detroit, Wayne County, Dearborn, Detroit, other port systems.
Is it one of the
It's like a-
kiosks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've
It's
seen
like
other
a
ones
camera
used, but
accepting payments.
got it. I've seen them used, maybe not that particular company.
Okay.
I would say, you know, I probably walk past them and just kind of ignore them, to be honest, yeah. Yeah.
And then overall, I mean, reading through this and seeing, I mean, I talked to Latrell earlier today, and I was curious on the fire thing, fire truck and the $600,000, and he explained some other things. But overall, I mean, what grade would you like give us in a situation?
Yep, so when I think of a grade on an audit report, it's more like almost like a pass-fail. Did you get that unmodified opinion? Then you're good. That's really what you want. There's some adjustments and some errors, but, you know, those are corrected. What I would be concerned with is if management here wasn't willing to correct those errors. And then we would modify our opinion, and so we would say, everything looks good except for this because you did not record this. Yeah. So anytime I give an unmodified opinion, I always say that's like an A.
And it's nice to see that, you know, well, our pension fund is still healthy and, you know, having, what was it, 20% of the general fund.
Yeah, 23.4, something like that. Yep.
So that's good track. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to get the health insurance fund up, but it's a tough hill to climb.
It is. Yeah, I've seen many are not funded at all, and I've seen many that are overfunded. It really just depends how long ago did the government start putting aside money for it. Yeah.
Has the state of Michigan in regards to the pension fund ever resolved the issue in regards to crediting municipalities and cities throughout the state? As an example, they do the mortality chart in regards to your life expectancy, and we as a municipality owe that much money.
That is one factor in the calculation. That's what your actuaries are
In
doing.
that factor, there isn't anything that says John Doe's supposed to live to 75, as an example, and he died at 65. A 10-year payment has never been taken out of that formula.
So it does in a sense. So let's say in 1 year where somebody passes and they're before their expected mortality rate, that would come through as an experience difference in your actuarial valuation and reduce the liability. It doesn't impact any of the actual funds you have set aside, but it lowers the liability. So it does have an impact.
Well, it has it on the one side, but under your liability, it doesn't.
It does. It lowers so if, let's say somebody passes at age 50, you know, who might be projected to live to 80, they would drop off all those additional years of expected benefit payments from the liability. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Mr. Mays?
I have nothing.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you all very much. You have a great evening, and I appreciate working with the township, appreciate working with all of you. Thank you.
Good job,
Motion to
Latrell.
accept the audit presentation.
Support.
Have a motion by Keenan, supported by Mays, to accept the audit presentation. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays,
Yes.
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes?
Sloper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Next one is the treasurer's request approval of the rate of service agreement.
Yes, and I actually have representatives here from DivDat. The board requested a presentation. You have the contract in front of you, so this is Mark. and-
Hi, hello. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Permission to,
Yes. Can you make sure you speak up in the mic so that our audience and our people listening can hear exactly what this is about?
hello, is that better? Right. Hello, everybody, thank you for having us. I'm Mark Burkle with DivDat, and we're an omni-channel payments company based out of Detroit, Michigan. And we're here to talk about different payment methods for your residents to pay their taxes and their water bills. So we do have a Should I start, or? It's just basically the PowerPoint that's on the thing. So as I said, we're an omni-channel payment solutions company, and we provide, on this page here, we provide kiosk as a service, mobile app, text-to-pay, web, IVR, and also a POS system, which means people can come to the window and pay with a credit card. So if you flip to the next page, kiosk as a service. This is designed to place into a grocery store or in the municipal center, and people can walk up at their convenience, their time, and they can pay their tax bills or their water bills. The kiosk is multi-language, so if there's a Spanish population or any languages can be on the kiosk. And they also accept cash, check, credit card, and credit cards and checks. Okay, so our next one is, this is our retail partnership. So what we do is, in Detroit, we have over 100 kiosks in Detroit and in the Wayne County cities. So what we do is we partner with grocery stores, so when people are going to the grocery store, doing their personal businesses, they have a kiosk there and they can do their financial business as well. So we started off with about 10 kiosks about 8 years ago, and we're up over 100 kiosks in the Wayne County. Any questions? I'm sorry. Any questions so far?
When
No?
you establish those into local grocery stores along that time, what's the fee for
The fee for,
putting your equipment in there?
oh, we don't, we actually pay the grocery stores to put our kiosks in there. So it's, the grocery store likes it because obviously it's foot traffic for them. So the first grocery store we put in, they were a little reluctant to put the kiosk in there, but then they see new people coming into their stores, and obviously the more door swings, that translates to money to the owners of the
So
stores.
what does this program look like for a municipality? I understand, you saying you put it in the grocery stores where they do have a lot of foot traffic.
Mhm.
Before a municipality our size, do you have any, feedback or just something that compare to
Yeah, so.
what it looks like for a municipality our size, and how much usage do they normally get? And how many of these kiosks do you have in municipalities
Right, so.
in this area?
In this area, we have none. This, Genesee County, you would be the first township or municipality to have a kiosk. So, closest one is E-Course, probably in the size of the township's, population. And they have it in the municipal center, and they get a lot of foot traffic. I can't tell exact numbers, but, they're very thankful because of the lack of, staff that they have on hand. They direct people to the kiosk, and people are get used to using the kiosk, and they do their business under 2 minutes, come in, come out, and off they go.
Can you tell us any other municipalities in Oakland or Wayne County where this is, whether the size of it?
Yeah, so in Oakland County, we don't have any municipalities yet. We do have kiosks that support DT Energy. So we're in Pontiac, we're in Muskegon, we're in Grand Rapids. That's outside of Wayne counties. So we started with the city of Detroit inside Wayne County, and then we branched out into like Dearborn Heights, E-Course. We're in East Point in Macomb County. So we're focused on Wayne County, but now we're expanding out. Mhm.
And from the standpoint of a network,
Mhm.
is we get a machine, and if other municipalities in our area get a machine, these machines can be used, our residents can use them wherever they are.
Exactly, right.
Because it functions like an ATM network. So
Right.
if they're in Detroit and they need to pay their water bill to us, they can
They
have
can
a
pay
machine, or if they're in court or whatever.
And that's only possible if we have
have
kiosks.
Well, yes, well, if you have the kiosk, yes, right.
It
Yeah.
networks us to.
I got you.
their
Yeah, the power, the network effect, right? It's the power in numbers.
Okay.
Well, okay, if you can just talk to us a little bit about what this does for our township and our residents, because currently our residents come in and they pay their bill in the office. So
Correct.
what is the benefit of us having a kiosk, outside of, they don't have to go? Is there any other benefits outside of the fact they don't have to come in, they can do
Yeah,
it?
no, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So what we see in Detroit, and I'll use Detroit as a reference, a lot of people have different work schedules. So they might have an afternoon workers or midnight workers. They might not be able to come down to the municipal building between 8 to 5. And I believe that the townships, it's closed on Fridays as well, right? And the weekends. So there's accessible for the weekends after hours. So they don't have to be here between 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. I don't know exactly what time you're open till. So that's really the main benefit. And it's funny because, just a quick story, we go to we put them in grocery stores in Detroit, obviously, is a bigger population. But people actually come up to us and thank us and say, oh, gosh, we got a kiosk now so we can do our work, our business here. They might live a half a mile away or a mile away. They may be challenged to driving. They might not have accessible to driving, so they may have to walk. So the grocery store up right at the end of their street has a kiosk, and they can do all their financial business there.
And is it user-friendly? Because we have a lot of elderly
Yes, ma'am.
residents? Is it user-friendly, and are you willing, because one of the things we talked about before we put this in place, if the board decides to vote on it,
Right.
is making sure that we had some type of town hall. We were hoping to have it at our senior center at the Crapo, where people could come and ask the questions and find out, is it user-friendly, and, you know, those type of things.
Oh, yes.
Because we want to make sure that everybody's not tech savvy.
No,
or
no,
feel
absolutely.
comfortable.
No,
Whether they tech savvy, they may not feel comfortable using it.
Totally agree 100%. And so what we do is we also have an ambassador program. So there's actually DivDad employees that will be by the kiosk and teach people how to use it. So we're not here just to sell or give you a kiosk and then walk away, right? So we're really heavily in the community. And that's really what our passion is to help residents and not just have a kiosk, throw it in the corner, collect cobwebs, right? It needs to be used.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
And one other thing that we talked about, and please chime in, board members, I don't want to be the
Yeah.
only one asking the questions, but the residents need to know.
No, absolutely.
One of the things we talked about is that there would be a trial period, and what does that look like? How long is it? And if we get it, and maybe 3 months down the line, we don't see a lot of foot
That's a
traffic.
great question, yep.
Are we in debt to continue paying it? How do we get out? Is it, you know, those kinds of things we need to know.
No, that's a great question. So what our latest proposal was, that we would do the IVR, which is the phone record, the call in and pay by phone. So if we do that, we would give the township 4 months free for the kiosk, which is normally $2,000 a month for the kiosk. So that after 4 months, if you don't like it, we just say, you know,
Come and get it?
yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Come
if-
pick it
whatever you
out of
want to
there.
say, we'll come and get it, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And with yeah, no, absolutely. Right, you know, that's what we want to do. We don't want to have you in a commitment of 3 years and then you're like, gosh, no one's using this is not worth it.
So am I understanding you correctly that we could pick and choose from these different ways to use?
Yes, the
okay.
omni-channel?
Yeah,
Yes.
So you have the kiosk, the mobile app, the text to pay.
That's correct.
So we could say we want this.
It's like à la carte.
À la carte.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So I know we were talking with the treasurer, a kiosk, the mobile app, and the IVR. That's what that was discussed. Doesn't mean that we have to have all those, but that's what we were talking about.
I have another question. So
Please.
if we get the IVR,
Yes, ma'am?
and you said that's 4 months for free, so all
No,
of it
I'm sorry. The kiosk is free for 4 months, yes.
for 4 months?
4 months, yes.
What is the cost of the phone for those 4
That's,
months?
it's $500 a month, and that is for a 3-year contract, but you can opt out after a year. Because on our side, there's implementation costs to go along with that.
You're saying to get that in there, we have to have a contract for 3 years,
Yeah, 3 years, but you can cancel after 1 year.
but you've already tied me into 12 months after saying I get it free for 4 months. So you're gonna charge me a fee of $2,000 a month for the additional 8 months
Yes,
if I don't want the equipment, because the one program, we've already tied us into a year contract at $500 a month.
correct. Well, we're flexible. I mean, if you don't like the kiosk after,
That's not what your contract says.
Well, we could-
The court will uphold the contract, what you provided us to look at. It says that $500 a month does not cover the kiosk,
right. But,
and you have to have it for at least 1 year.
but you're also saving $8,000 with the 4 months of the kiosk. I mean,
You're saving money because you're charging us for a fee for each transaction that is made for sewer and water bill, and each transaction is made
What-
for taxes.
well, we're charging,
Fee plus us paying for the use of the equipment.
we're charging, when we talked with the treasurer, the most transactions that you had was 520. So we bumped up, you get tax transactions, so we bumped that up to 700 cash transactions that's embedded into the $2,000 rental fee.
So there's no fee, there's virtually gonna be no fees for cash transactions. the maximum number of cash transactions we have on a monthly basis over the last year was around 507, I think was the most.
And he
And-
just said he bumped that to 7 to,
Right,
okay,
to help.
To help
in
it.
case
okay.
How many paid by checks and credit cards?
Checks and credit cards, well, the credit cards, they'll get a break on that because they normally pay
That's not what I
3%.
asked. Because this, the fee that he's showing us is only based on cash transactions. What about the other transactions that transpire with credit cards and checks?
The fees that transpire with credit cards is 2.49%, which is a decrease from Point and Pay, which is 3%.
Mhm.
So there's actually a cost savings to the resident for that
They're still
expenditure.
charged a service fee for the
Yes,
use of the
there's a
card.
processing fee. All merchants charge a processing fee for using cards. And our residents are aware of that, whether it's taxes or water bills.
Is that fee the same across the board?
It's 3%,
Three.
but through DivDat,
It's 2.49%
It's a little bit less.
across all of our, all of our.
That's a service fee. What about a
Your
processing
charge
fee?
for
Is
me
there
using
something
my credit
different?
card, my credit card company's gonna charge me a service fee also.
I don't know what the credit card, your credit card company does, but it's a normal, I mean, you're paying right now 3%,
They're paying 3% to
Right.
use our system,
right,
okay?
right,
They
and,
have to use Monday through Thursday because we're not open on Friday when most people get paid.
yeah, and to use our system, it's 2.49% for a credit card. So it's a half a point,
Question I had
yeah.
before, so trying to look through it, so if you either type in your address or put in your account number to make a payment
Mhm.
set up. What if I type in my account number wrong by a couple digits and I paid somebody else's bill?
That's a great question.
So how do I rectify that issue, or how long does it take?
That's a great question. So on the kiosk, are you referring to the kiosk only or just in general?
I'm talking,
In
in
the-
the system, but pretty much the kiosk.
Yeah, so the kiosk, so if you there's a review, so we can go through the workflow, but at the end, there's a couple times to review your payment, if you make sure that you're Mr. Baxter's here. But if you do go all the way through the workflow, we have a dashboard that they can call up the treasurer, and you can cancel the transaction if it's not a cash transaction. If it's a cash transaction, then obviously you'd have to refund the money through a check.
And then also, the agreement here is for an inside machine.
That's correct, yes.
How much, what's the difference in cost if it's outside? Because we got a statement from our police chief thinking that it might be
Right.
maybe better outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
awning,
More
I mean,
accessible,
is that
too.
machine like $500 more a month, or, I mean, I'm just curious if there's a difference.
No, it's $200 more. It'd be $2,200.
200 more for an outside machine?
Yes, sir.
I know we're trying to move us into the
Yeah.
21st century and we need that, but we have some, I'm just gonna be very transparent here. We have some real concerns, that it's not a crutch for the office to just be closed and we just revert people to just use that because there's been some issues with staffing and there's been some times when the office has been closed and we have just not had the help, and so we don't want it to be a crutch to where, we have this machine, so now we're really not open. And we are trying to work on those internal things. And one of the things we talked about was because we were short-staffed and we had the information today, board members, that one of our staff members is not coming back to work. So I guess it's almost like a balancing act. Are we going to go with this service, or are we going to look to see and figure out about our staffing and resolve that problem? Because that needs to be resolved either way, whether we get this machine or not. We need to figure out why we're not fully staffed and why the hours are not available to our people that want to come in and pay their bill and they may not want to use a kiosk. I think that's something we need to look at as well, because I don't know how much foot traffic this may get. So we still need to make sure that we have the window open and it's open from the time we say it's going to be open till the time it's supposed to be closed. And that's been the biggest issue that the residents have. And I don't know if a kiosk is the one-all be-all answer.
I think it's helpful, and it's not meant to replace meant to enhance what we're already doing and to help shore up those folks that can't get here, Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4:30.
I know we talked about it before, but having some kind of, it being community-led by the residents, some kind of town hall to where they can have input to see if they really want to do this. I think we should revisit that and let the residents decide if this is something we want to do.
Absolutely.
Before we jump in it.
I think Mrs.
I
Burke
agree
makes
with
a good
that.
point too, where she brings up a concern that I had, is like, it's just like the kiosks at fast food restaurants. You know, they came in, they said they're convenience, and now how many times, I mean, I went to that Taco Bell a couple months ago, and it's like, you have to order at the kiosk. There's somebody there, but they wouldn't take an order only at the kiosk. I don't want to get to the point, because we as a township serve our community, our customers.
Oh,
our
absolutely,
communities.
yeah.
And I don't ever want to get to where it's like, you know, somebody says, I'm too busy, go use the kiosk. You know,
Mhm.
and that is a concern, because I don't think like Taco Bell, McDonald's, that was what they, 10 years ago when they started the kiosk, that's what it is. But now you go, all the new ones, that's all they are. And
Right.
I mean, that's fine if you're a private business, you want to run off some of our customers, but our customers are our business. And so our number one concern is to take care of them. We have to be open for business and the questions they have that they want us. And so that's the only concern I would have, like in a kiosk. I know the future's coming that way.
Mhm.
And, you know, it's just like the Secretary of State. You got the kiosks and Myers everywhere else. You can go renew your tabs. If you want, you can make an appointment 4 months out for a 15-minute window, or you could just pay the fee and do it there. But the state's a little different. Our residents here, we want to make sure it's something that they want to use, that they're going to use, and they're not going to be shunned away. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
No,
There's
that's-
gonna be boards
no, that's a great
after
point.
us
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to continue, and that will be the situation.
No, that's great to hear too, Mr. Baxter, that you want to intervene with your customer, or, talk with your residents and stuff like that, because the world right now is going so impersonal, right? So you still have that in-person touch, which is great. So, yeah, we're not here, obviously, to replace any of that. We're just here to have another option for your residents if they do choose to pay that way.
Here's another, just on your business.
Mhm.
So did you start in Wayne County? So
Yeah,
are you
we are.
strictly only in Michigan right now?
No, actually, we're in Texas, California, doing an implementation in New Jersey, and where else am I thinking of?
Indiana?
Oh, and Indiana as well, too.
And then another, and back to the IVR.
Mhm.
So a 3-year contract, but you had the option to opt out after a year. What's the fee to opt out? Is there a,
$1 million. No, I'm joking. No, nothing. No, it's nothing.
just making sure, like, some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
sign like
No, it's,
10,000 or 5,000
yeah, no,
or
it's
something.
zero, buddy. No, we're here, we're not, I mean, we're a for-profit company, of course, but we're here to work with you. We don't like to think of you as a customer, or us as a customer, or a vendor. We're really in Detroit, we're really in the community. I mean, we have people that are dedicated to go to the community, out in the community, talk with people. We go to all their community outreach programs. I mean, we're part of the community, we're not just a vendor. We don't want to be a vendor.
What's the, I'm sorry.
No, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Were these are fixed costs, was they adjustable after 3 years?
That's right.
It's,
Inflation.
well, inflation, but it's a fix.
That it goes up, the
There
price?
there would be a chance, but all the time that we've done, I don't believe that we ever raised the price because of inflation.
Contract period, you could
No,
raise
no,
it?
I-
Okay, so
I-
if I
yeah.
have a 3-year contract, it's not gonna get raised within that 3 years, am I
Mm-hmm.
correct?
In the thing it says it can do it on an annual basis.
On an, yeah, then that's a question, and I don't want to say yes or no, because I don't know, I can find out for you. But, like I said, I don't believe we have ever raised due to inflation.
Oh,
I have another
We
question
need to
from
know
the
that.
mobile app. I have what you're gonna charge for the kiosk and for the IVR. Is there a separate cost for the mobile app?
No, mobile app is included.
Included,
It's free.
okay.
And also the dashboard. We have a dashboard that goes with it, and that's included. With all our payments, yes.
So we do have the option of just going with the kiosk at first.
Mhm.
Is that an option
Yeah.
for us without any of the extra stuff, and see how the kiosk works?
Mhm. But now, keep in mind, if it's just the kiosk, then that would have to, it wouldn't be free, it would be 50% of the reduction for 6 months. And that's what the original proposal was.
Any further questions?
Just one other question.
Hmm?
So, if we ended up getting the system we did first in Genesee County, what is the push to get them into other convenient grocery stores around here? Because that's where it really benefit the
Mhm.
township for receiving revenue, is that it makes it easier where I'm at the grocery store or I'm
Exactly.
Dollar General or just wherever, or at a gas station getting gas and go, oh yeah, I gotta pay my bill. So,
That's yeah.
But, so, I mean, where do you see the future of this in, like, up here where it's more convenient for our?
Yeah, no, absolutely. If there's a need for it, we would definitely push, a push for the kiosks into the areas, to the grocery stores. I don't believe there's a grocery store that's in the township though, correct?
The township
Right.
side, Genesee.
And we generally don't like gas stations as much, we like more of the independent grocery stores. And we don't like to go into Kroger's. We were in Rite Aid first when we dealt with DTE, and they actually fired us, Rite Aid did, because we brought so many people into the store, the clerks didn't want to help the customers, so that's when we started the ambassador program. And then the independent stores, they see the value of those foot traffic come in, because like I said earlier, that it's real money to the store owners, because they end up buying pop or candy bar or something like that.
You're talking just grocery stores, you're not talking about, the little mom and pop corner store where.
Oh, no, yeah, I didn't say that, no, I said grocery, or gas stations, but mom and pop stores, yeah, if they would have it, wherever there's foot traffic and then we'd talk with the treasurer or whomever else, like, where they see, there's a lot of stores at, Big Al's Grocery Shop or something,
Dollar General as an example.
Dollar General, we've not worked with the big box stores, because they, I don't know how to say, they don't see the value in having the kiosks there. I mean, we never approached Dollar General, it doesn't mean we couldn't, but we see the more independent stores and they're more about the community,
Right.
at the independent store.
All of the independent little stores, like Dollar General throughout Monmouth Township, that service the people in the local community.
Yeah, I don't consider Dollar General a mom and pop store.
I'm not retreating that, but, like, there's one on Detroit Street, there's a couple on Bowunder Road, there's some on Carpenter Road, Pearson Road, Flannel Road, where you can stop in and get yellow milk, some ice cream, cold beer, and go on home,
Right.
okay? But they don't sell a lot of groceries or meat supplies. They're strictly
Yeah, we could.
little convenience.
Yeah, no, we in fact, we were in Lansing. We have 6 kiosks up there for Lansing Board of Water and Light. And we're in the, I forget what's the store.
Quality Dairy.
Thank you. Quality Dairy store. And they're like a 7-Eleven. And they're community-based. Everybody knows Quality Dairy. They, get your milk and get your ice cream and get your donuts there. And that's when we told the BWO that we were going to put them there, they were ecstatic, so.
Any other questions?
As far as this getting approved,
Mhm.
I just want the board to understand there's a process and a timeline. So if this is approved, it's still gonna take, 6 to 8 weeks to get everything?
8 to 10 weeks to get implemented.
Get things implemented.
And that's once we have our implementation team available, resources. Right now, we have, I think, 4 integrations going on right now.
And so I'm thinking, not so much in terms of summer taxes, but winter taxes, I was gearing up for in December, and to have this functioning, if we got it signed either, tonight or within 2 weeks, it would still take through November before we were.
Very rough, yeah.
Second week in November before we would be operational.
I'd like to repeat what Ms. Loper said, though. I think that we need to bring our community together for the opportunity to have you speak with them and have their questions answered, and maybe even an opportunity to see one of the kiosks and how it operates and how easy or otherwise it might be. I think that's going to be an important process for this, because I agree 100% that we need it. I just want to make sure that we're not dragging our residents, that they're coming willingly.
No, that's a good thought, yeah.
We have to also keep in mind, not all of the residents are going to be, I wouldn't be able to use it because I pay mine at Beecher Water Department. So everybody is not going to be, it's not going to be accessible for everybody. So we want to make sure that we have the enough foot traffic and it makes sense. And we still need to look at our internal issues as far as staffing too, so that it won't be a go-to, that type of thing. We want to still make sure we have that face-to-face service. So,
One more question, not to drag it along, just on the software.
no.
So
Uh-huh.
is there a fee for the software, and does it, obviously it probably works with BSNA, so.
Yes, we don't have a direct integration with BSNA, but obviously 99% of the municipalities in Michigan are BSNA, so we do a batch file. But yes, we can. And then Cusia, I believe you have for the water company. I don't know if we have an integration with them, but that doesn't mean that we couldn't. We do hundreds of integrations.
I just want to make sure, like, you know, you have all these fees here, and all of a sudden in the back end, there's, the software is, you know, $5,000.
No, there's nothing like that. Unless you want it to be, we can always do that. But no, I'm just joking. No, there's what, that's what it is. That's why the $2,000 for the kiosk is higher than anything else, is because there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of implementations, a lot of integrations. We control the cache, so that takes off the township. And I believe if the township was going to use a cash system, right, it was like $800 or something just for that. So you know what the price is to handle cash. We take that all off of your hands.
Any other questions? Thank you.
My other, I do have a question.
Yeah, please.
I forgot to ask about, as far as security goes, because our police chief had mentioned that having it outside,
Mhm.
there's a little space
Yeah.
outside the door, there's like a awning area, but we have cameras in
Mhm.
that area. If we were to place this machine so it is a drive-up convenience for folks, is there cameras within the machine itself to?
There's not, no, because what we do is, what we've learned is people doing their business, they don't want their faces on there. So what we like to do is have an external camera facing the kiosk, so if there is any kind of
Something
damage or something, yeah, I mean,
that the township would provide?
yes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your pleasure?
I would like to make a motion that we do this community information, if we can do something at the senior center first. And I'd like to be able to set that up with these folks before we move forward.
Just,
I'll support it.
so we could do that, that's a great idea. The only thing is we we'd have to have like it in a demo environment for people, because we wouldn't be, doing the implementations. Just want to let that, be aware of that. And we do that all the time when we go to conferences and stuff. We have a demo environment, people can touch it and put money in it and kind of pay a bill. Yeah.
Is that here at the township?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You want me to go get it? I can get it now if you like. No, I'm joking,
we want an opportunity for our residents to know
Yeah,
when
that's a
it's
great-
going to be held.
That's a
and
great
have an
idea.
Opportunity for them to
And,
come.
yeah.
So if our treasurer can get with you and get with the senior center and coordinate a date so that we could have that informational.
No, that's a
seminar.
great idea. I mean, I love the idea that you're thinking of your residents as well, too, and not just placing a machine there and that. So, thank you very much.
I have a motion by King, supported by Baxter, to do a community demo at the senior center in the township, and the treasurer to set up a time. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Mays.
Yes.
Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Vote unanimous.
All righty. Next item on the agenda is the final reading ordinance of 2025-01 Code of Ordinance. In regard to the code of ordinance, if you go to page 186, section 30-30, it states that the water supply services from the city of Detroit, that changed approximately 7 or 8 years ago to the Carraguggy Water Authority. That needs to be corrected, it's a typo type thing.
Make a motion that we approve the final reading of ordinance 2025-01 code of ordinance with the one correction.
So moved.
Support.
Did you make the
I
motion?
made the motion.
You made, support, I'm sorry.
Have a motion by Allen, supported by Loper, for the final reading of ordinance 2025-01 code of ordinance with the correction of the Carraguggy Water Authority to replace the Detroit water system. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Mr. Baxter?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda is Resolution 2025-11, Mount Morris High School Homecoming Parade.
Support. So moved, I'm sorry.
Support.
Motion by Allen, supported by Mays, to approve the Mount Morris Homecoming Parade, September. I forgot the date, September the 26th, 2025. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Mr. Baxter?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Hardware upgrades. I don't know who else has that on the agenda. Clarify, please.
Well, that was given to myself by you for the, I think we upgraded our systems from Sonya Burns. The
Oh,
Windows,
yes,
Oh, yeah, right, right,
the computer upgrades. I'm sorry.
Supervisor, may I give some clarification for
Yes.
this? Evening again, Supervisor Green, Township Board members and residents. Ms. Burns asked that I give a little bit of insight to this request. First of all, this request is necessary as of the current support of our Windows platform is set to expire throughout all of the workstations in the township. And so it was something that was brought to my attention during budget planning, and we did place funds within the budget to accommodate this request. This request would provide 7 systems to the fire station, 3 personal computers and 4 laptops, as well as replace those within the police department and the general staff. All of these are very, very necessary movements. There is one portion of this that Mr. Baxter actually brought to my attention this morning, and I have reached out to Ms. Burns for some clarification of, and that is the per cost for the installation of these systems. It does seem that they're charging us a fee per station there that seemed to be a little out of sorts in my first view of it. However, it could be some fee necessary because there is some data shift that's going to be taken. The data will be taken off the current machine that's being replaced to placed on the new one, as well as all of the hardware and software that go in each station. So there is some work involved with each station, but to charge the amount of money that's quoted in here is concerning to me there. So I would like to at least preface your discussion with those insights. And if you got any questions, let me know.
$600 per unit.
Yes, yes, and that that's concerning, particularly when you look at the percentage as that equates to with the whole cost of there. That's a pretty significant percent of this purchase there that I'd like to get some clarification of with Ms. Burns, if in fact this agenda item is stalled for tonight.
One of the other concerns I had, if you look on the quote from them, if you go to page 2 on either of the quotes, it said, no returns will be accepted unless first approved by VC3, and open box items are not returnable. So how am I supposed to get the computer out to see
Yeah.
and to load this stuff under the guidelines of this quote that says I can't return it?
Yeah, I believe this is related to the work that they would do as the vendor in installing it. There would still be a manufacturing warranty if this system is defective, that we can send it directly back to Microsoft. But certainly, it says what it says in this quote there. It does say what it says, and I'm not going to deny that there. But I do believe that this is separate from the manufacturer's warranty that comes with every system that we would purchase there.
I'd like to have clarification on
We'll certainly get that.
Discussion?
I did, thanks for clarifying that issue. I mean, you look at the price of the, like, a ThinkPad is $919, but it's $600 to install. I mean, it's like 2/3 of the price, and you times that by each one. And, you know, and I'm not sure, I mean, when you add up all these, it's approximately $139,000 for the computer software. If it's outdated, it's outdated, we need to replace it. But two concerns I've had is, I'm not sure if this is the only company we can use, or we should have got bids for this.
Yes.
You know, there should be 3 bids,
Yes.
because, I mean, it's over $10,000, $5,000. But, and so, I mean, and is, do we have, I know we budgeted for it, but did we budget that much for it?
Yes, it's actually, we budgeted $100,000 for this project there overall. That was what Sonia quoted early on in budget prep. So it is $100,000 embedded in the budget to accommodate this. There doesn't mean, and I told her when we put it in there that we're going to spend $100,000 on it there, but we did budget $100,000 for this
When I
person.
add up these quotes on these pages, it's approximately $139,000.
Okay, so we definitely won't be spending that
20,000 of it is.
relative to
We
in-state.
could hire a college student, I think they probably can install a lot of that a lot cheaper. But, I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm not in IT, I have spoke to people that I know in IT, and they're like, that seems high. You know, they work for other companies and stuff like that, so I'm just curious of like, what it does. I mean, I'm not sure at the MTA what they do, or like my employer, how, I mean, it's all, that's not somebody I would know to see, but some people that I know that are in IT, I show it to them, and I said, that seems really high. I don't know enough to know that, but I do look at, you can get a laptop for $919, but whether it's transferring data or installing software, it's $600. It's 2/3 of the cost. It seems high.
My hope is that because VC3 has been such a long partner of ours, that we could just have a good conversation with them. But it is somewhat of a time crunch in this, as you do see that this starts out with the request that Microsoft support's going to end on October the 10th. There, and going into, as the treasurer mentioned earlier, the tax season, and all of the other things that we need to do to get prepared for the calendar in, we really don't want to miss that date too far there with that. Police department has already had some difficulties in data loss already under the current system, and so we want to make sure that we are in place
I
to move this.
I wholeheartedly agree, but we at the 9th hour, and maybe we should have looked at this 2 months ago.
Yes, yes.
Why we always being reactive instead of proactive, I'm not sure. However, I think we should allow you to talk to them and us look at other companies before we make such a vote on such a large amount.
Yeah.
We do have till, yes, I think we should put it out for bids.
Well, my only caution on that is VC3 is familiar with our system. A new vendor is going to have to come in and learn our system, which is going to be a new cost with familiarity there. But, and again, I think with the relationship we have with VC3, just a excuse the phrase, come to Jesus talk with them there about what we really are expected from them, will get us further down the road than bidding and getting a company that's unfamiliar with our setup and have to learn that and the potential downsides of that. They'll have to come back out and fix what they didn't know and all of that other things like
How long
that.
have we been doing business with these guys?
With VC3, I've been back here 3 years, and I think they were actually under a different name of another company, wasn't Convergent, almost named them, but they were a different company prior to that, so they have been around. IT Right, thank you. So they've been around quite a while, yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead and put some fire under them.
I sure
and see
will.
what we can do
Yeah.
before we make this vote. I think
Thank
we
you.
should table it, board members.
Thank you.
I'd like,
Make a motion?
yes, I'd like to make a motion to table it.
Have a motion by Lippert, supported by Keenan to table. Any further discussion? Roll.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes. Mr. Mays,
Yes.
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
The next item on the agenda is what I've asked to be added in regards to our Station One fire hall. The eaves trough is not tied into a drainage system and causing flooding inside of the east side of the buildings where the offices are, and created a tremendous amount of damage. And we have a catch basin over by the senior center. There's two of them side by side, which is caving in. We got bids from two companies. The total cost from Eagles Excavating was $9,500, and the cost from Masters Excavating was $6,700. And the clerk got two bids today. Would you read them, please? And what they're exactly for.
Two bids was given to me from first response was, I'll read this, was $4,264.34.
That is
and the
for
other one
just
from-
the fire hall?
Yeah, for the fire, that's just for the fire. And I got one from Purvis Construction for $3,492.10. And this is also
What's that for? Both?
These are both for fire. It's the downspout to storm drain.
Yep, fire hall. Station One. And the
This
first
does not
one was
include
how
the
much?
senior.
Two what?
That's not including the senior.
This is not including the
I don't
senior.
think so.
No, that doesn't include the catch basins over by the senior center.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
when you're going in, if you look to the north,
Mhm.
where it goes down like that, there's double catch basin down there that's caving in.
So this is only for the fire halls?
Correct.
Okay.
So why are we comparing apples to oranges? If this doesn't have all the things that these other two have,
That's correct.
then we should make sure that did they just not know all the things we wanted to?
All the
Because
things
right
that-
now, they're a lot cheaper than the estimate that we have, way cheaper.
No, that's just for one. And the other two broke it down into two separate units, and the total of them was $6,700. The fire hall was like 24. And the other one was 40. And I'm joining them both together as one at $6,700.
Again, my question is, why do we not get two for the entire job like we did for the other?
I
That's-
understand that they were asked to bid both aspects.
They only gave one.
They only bid on the one, okay?
And this one the same thing too? So both of them knew that we needed both bids and they only submitted one?
Yes. Because they didn't want to do the excavating out there, apparently. And I'm recommending that we use Masters Excavating. total cost of $6,700.
I personally would like it to go back out to bid and get the apples and apples and oranges so that we're not, because this is a little bit confusing. You have one bid, you have two bids for both, then you have two bids for just half of what we ask for.
It's not unheard of that companies that don't want to get into the, get real dirty with, they take the easier spot or easier job, but to my knowledge, they were sent out, everything was
I
the
guess
same.
I don't understand if you have a job out there and you saying this is what I need bid for, then a company comes and say, well, we'll just bid on part of it. They know what they're bidding on in the first place, so why would they just bid for part of it and not the whole thing?
I think
It that doesn't sound, I mean, those are my thoughts.
To interject, all of the excavating companies I called only wanted one part or the other part. They didn't want both parts. And I reached out to about 6, and 4 reached back out. So, and I think 2 came out for an actual quote. One called Tony, but I don't think he ever came out. So, lots of companies were called.
Okay.
That's what we did.
But we never got somebody to say just for the seniors to add to the fire station?
Right, there were 2 separate excavatings to be done in regards to 2 different types of drainage systems to be corrected.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a motion.
Need a motion?
So move.
I'll support. Motion to use Masters Excavating and Septic LLC to repair both the fire hall and the catch basin for $6,700. Any further discussion?
Yes, I still would like to see it put out to bid to get apples and apples and oranges, and I know you went to a lot of companies, we need to reach out a little further then. Ma'am?
I'll support that.
We have a motion on the floor for approval.
You got
You can
another
vote
motion
that
now.
down and then go
So,
to the other
Yeah,
one.
you got voted on, it wasn't the table, so we
Okay.
got one for the other.
Any further discussion in regards to the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Baxter,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mr. Mays,
No.
Ms. Jones,
No.
Ms. Dora,
No.
Ms. Loper,
No.
motion fails.
What's your motion, Ms. King?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that this go back out for bid so that we can get apples and apples, both jobs done, or several bids for the fire station and several for the senior, as long as we have bids to compare. Please.
Motion by King, supported by Keenan to put it back out for bids.
It'd be nice to be able to see it just like 2 separate bids. Because I think what's happening is I think the Persian, or that one company did just eavesdrops before for us, but they probably don't have the equipment to do the excavation and do the catch basin. I think it should, I mean, it's your motion, but it'd be nice if it was like, I mean, just put out 2 bids. One to do the eavesdrop
I
work
added
and
that in my
whatever- yeah,
motion. I
okay.
did say that in my
Okay.
motion,
I just
that
want-
if we did it separately, that way
Yeah.
we could compare.
Okay. That-
But it
I missed it
also,
then, yeah, it's good.
but if we do it separately, supervisor has the right, because it's an emergency under $3,000, to just pay for one.
This is not under $3,000. This is both of the. Actually, there's only one. It's none of them are under $3,000. They're 3,000 for one, 3,000 and some change, 4,000, 6,000, and 9,000. So
And is this an emergency? Because you
Mine's
just,
$24.75,
you
and there's
just-
3 bids for the fire
you just
department.
alluded to that.
I joined the 2 bids together. Masters turned in one for the fire hall, one for the catch basin. And the reason I put it out for bids because both of them together exceeded the
Right.
3,000.
Right.
The one for the fire hall was under the 3,000. But I joined them both together as one, because he bid them both separately. And I put them together as one bid from one contractor doing both jobs. But we'll put it out for bids, and you will get the bid specs from both contractors. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Green?
No.
Myself, no. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Mr. Baxter?
No.
Motion passes 4-3.
Next item on the agenda is investigative reports by Chief Beach. You want to go through the public comments? Okay. We're going to do public comments next. Finance Director.
Thank you. My report is simply a request tonight for the approval of the audit. You heard the audit presentation. I did hear the vote on the approval of the presentation, but I did not hear a vote on the adoption of the audit. You do have the final audit in front of you, and if you could vote up or down on that audit, that'd be my report tonight.
What's your pleasure?
Make a motion that we accept what verbiage you want.
Accept
the adoption
of the audit, fiscal year
Support.
20. Thank you.
Any further discussion on the motion?
I think that was the intent, but to be word,
Thank you, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
think
The
that was
fiscal
it.
year
Okay.
24-25 audit.
Was,
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
glad
sir.
that you specified it wasn't
Thank
spelled
you.
out
Thank
clearly
you.
enough.
All right. Thank you very much.
myself, yes. Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Yes.
Mr. Baxter?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Clerk's office report.
I have none at this time.
Public comments.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melvon Williams, 4604 Kimberly Woods Drive. Two questions. The audit presentation, is that available to us, the public? There was a lot of information given, a lot of numbers.
Should be on our website if
About to
it's
say
not.
that.
You can stop by the office and we'll provide you a copy.
But hold it, just a minute, pardon me? I heard, of course, something back here and I heard it up here.
Stop by the office, I'll give you a copy of the schedule that the county road commission, through the contractor that bid the project, of where he plans.
Well, no. I'm talking about the audit report. I haven't gotten to that yet. You got ahead of me.
You can still get.
Okay, let's
get a
back up.
Copy of the audit report from the.
It'll be on the website as well. We'll place it
On the website.
On the website.
Can I get a hard copy?
Right
I
behind
like
you.
that.
Right behind you.
I like that.
Now, resurfacing of the streets. Has any money been paid out for that yet?
No,
Question. When you make those payments, what is it based upon? You know, if there are 30 streets, when do you start dispersing the funds? Based upon what?
when they turn in the bill that they completed the streets that they're billing us for.
So there are 30 streets. When they complete a street, 2 streets, 3 streets?
They'll probably submit half of the bill in when they get halfway through the project, and then submit the balance.
Okay, that was my question. I just need a clarification. Said maybe. Are they going to do it? What is the agreement? What are they supposed to be
Through the
doing?
County Road Commission's procedures.
Pardon me?
Through the County Road Commission's procedures.
Which
The
is,
County Road Commission will bill us for half the project, then they'll bill us
okay,
another bill, and then they'll send us the final bill that everything's done. We show payment to the state of Michigan, the state of Michigan reimburses us.
okay, so when they complete half of the streets, those 15, they submit, they been the
That's
road
my
commission.
understanding. And the
That's
road
what I want
commission will bill-
clarification, that's what I'm
And
asking.
the road commission will bill us accordingly.
Have to complete 15 streets to get a bill.
They will bill the county road commission. The county road commission will pay that bill and bill us, and we'll pay the county road commission. Then when they complete the project, the county road commission will bill us after they pay them, and we'll reimburse the county road commission
Okay,
under the contract and notify the state, and the state will reimburse us.
okay, so when do we go and get the balance of the money? We got half of it, 1.1 million, or whatever.
When the job is totally done
You get the balance.
to the county road commission
Is there a time frame to have these, all those streets completed?
by the end of November of this year.
Yeah, okay. Now, what were you saying again? Now, you were saying something about,
They have a list of all the streets and the dates they're planning on doing it.
okay, are they,
I believe
Pardon me?
you were provided a copy.
okay, got you. All right, I'm out. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Any other citizens' comments?
Good evening, Board. I live at 6162 Hilton Lane, and I have quite a few questions and comments, but I will not give them all tonight. And I appreciate you for allowing me to come before you. I have a question for the chief. Do we still have 20 police cars altogether or officers riding around? Because I don't see any police patrolling my area at night or even early evening. And there are young kids out everywhere and adolescents. I'm on Hilton, O'Brien in that area.
We've never had 20 officers out at one time.
I mean, a car. I mean, we only have 20 cars in the whole area. That's what I'm
Are
asking.
you asking at a time?
No,
Or-
period.
No,
Period.
We do not have 20.
You have more, right?
No, we do not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I haven't
Patrol
seen.
cars, currently 7.
Okay, well, that's why I haven't seen them, you know, their presence in the area, because sometimes when it starts to get late in the evening, the adolescents or young people, well, you know,
Yes.
I don't, and you all know too, and I wanted to ask that question. And then the other question is, do we still have our code enforcers and all of that?
We have 2 code enforcers, one's been on sick leave since spring, and the other one is,
We have a couple of houses in the area where guys are junk collectors. And they go and they bring it to their house. So junk on top of junk. But then we have rats all over the area. If you're not baiting your house or your yard, then you're going to get them. And they're running at night in the Hilton area and also that area where I always say O'Brien or, you know, we just need to try to get these people into their jobs and doing their jobs, the code enforcers. I just wondered if we still had them. And also, my biggest concern, since we have the new attorney aboard, is the same thing about the landlord rental contract thing. Is that ongoing, or have we finished that? Remember, we were talking about landlords that own houses here, and they're renting them out to tenants that don't care about the property. Have we created some new form or contract or something for that? Is that available?
Leo Carey started that, I believe.
Oh, so that ball got dropped too?
He sure did.
Okay, excuse me, y'all. I'm just going to say this blatantly. I appreciate each and every one of you all. But you all said that you're going to be the best of the best for Beecher and Mount Morris. What are y'all doing for us as residents? You're not coming here to just say, I love it and I'm coming. Please help us. We need you. We need you. I'm tired of jumping up at night, kids running and roaming through the neighborhood. I'm serious. I work too, you know, and I work late. Please help us. Be serious about what you do. This is crazy. Oh, thank you. Good evening, Jolena Sims, 5432 Sarah Rose Drive. I am in contact with the Genesee County Road Commission, and Mr. Williams has left. I do notice that on the 16th of August through the 17th, Pier North and what is the Pearson Place, they did not get done. Can you tell me why?
Because the County Road Commission asked to extend that,
Mm-hmm.
and the Pearson Road Corridor Association said they would pick up that cost,
Mhm.
and they were waiting for the approval of the cost, and the additional cost for Pier North and Pearson Place is roughly $91,000, that the Pearson Road Corridor is gonna pick up that cost. So the contractor is going to do it all at the same time.
Okay, so the next question is, well, what is that going to do for the other roads? Is that going to put them behind?
Nope. It's
So
supposed to
there's,
be on schedule.
okay, so they're slated to be done by October the 16th. I noticed you said November, but
Well,
what they sent me.
I'm assuming there will be some weather problems involved in there,
Okay,
okay?
all righty, so just wanted to let you know instead of instead of November, it was October. Thank you.
Any further discussion, citizens' comments?
Good evening, Karen Reed from the Senior Center. I happened to see a letter that went out to all the people for their water, and it was good of you to put at the bottom of it, water assistance. But just to let you know that you might get some frustrated calls, because I have called there 10 times, and the message is, if you get this message, we have already met our quota for the day. And just so you know, and your staffs know, we don't have a pot of money to pay water bills. So we have to bring the person in and go through the whole system at DHHS, as long as they have their shut off. So with the holiday and just in general, how they do things, it's gonna take a while for them. So you probably are gonna get frustrated calls. I know we're already getting some, why can't you help me? And it's a bad situation, but please just, be patient and help those people. As far as the kiosk, thank you. I appreciate that. We're more than willing to hold some kind of meeting with a demonstration. I guess my question is, when he said ambassador, would those be local? And would they be there all the time to help people? Or will there be scheduled times for that? Just something to think about. And then maintenance contracts. If it goes down, how long is it going to take them to get up here and fix it for everybody? I'm only saying that because that's what happened to us. I didn't think about maintenance, but I do now. So be thinking about that. That's it. Thank you.
Any further public comments?
Hi, Pamela Green, Ridgeway Avenue. I wanted to thank you also, Karen already got up here and did it, for thinking about our people, especially our seniors. The other question or comment I have is the cost of putting in these new computers. We have an IT person that we pay. I don't understand why it's costing us an additional $600 per computer to have somebody else come and install them. Not that I'm perfect at it, but we just upgraded ours at the senior center, and I just did all of ours. So if you do bids, and that's the route you go, maybe, I'm all for you guys doing bids, maybe ask them what it would entail with the software we use. How quickly would you be able to if you're a real good IT person, you should just be able to come in and look at it and go, oh, okay. Most of it's just really a transfer and downloading. Transferring your data is probably the most difficult part. And then it's just all your software you have to re-download. So, but I think the bids, if that's the route you're gonna take, is a good idea. And then that being said, on the thing that you had about the bids for the eaves troughs and the drainage system, at the senior center, when we had bids for us, we had to send it out several times to even get a small portion of bids. So they don't come in like you think they do. And people do, they did with us, well, we just want to do this part. We don't want to do this part. But you put it out as a whole, you're going to send in what you want to do. And that's just how that's going to work. But again, we send it out. They made phone calls for us. I mean, it was really due diligence. And we just literally only got a handful of bids. So keep that in mind, that you may not get the influx of bids that you're hoping to. So, thank you.
Any other citizens' comments?
I'd like to say, Catherine Oliver, I reside at 6114 Neff Road. I'm here this evening to thank our residents that I'm here. I suffer from a massive heart attack, but I made it, and I'm finally out of rehab. And it's comfortable to be back alive. And just, I want to thank they was by my side and came to see me, uplifted me, made me want to recovery. And I love my township and the people who did support me, and I'm able now to be out. This is the first time I've been out, and I don't know what to do. I'm so glad to be out. And then plus back here at the township. So my prayers are with you, and have your prayers still with me, that I can continue to do what I like to do for this township, to bring us ahead. And I congratulate all those who are reelected to the board, and I will support you in any kind of way that I possibly can. And thank you.
Welcome back, Kat.
Any other citizens' comments? Any other citizens' comments? Closed citizens' comments. Attorney's report.
Not much to report. I'm not super aware of the landlord-tenant issue that was being brought up. I know in other municipalities that I represent, there have been problems with short-term rentals. I don't know if that's what it is, but if that's something that the board wants me to look into, just let me know and I'd be glad to do so. Other than that, good to see everyone. I don't know if anyone else did the crim, but I did the 5 mile on Saturday, and I
Survived.
almost recovered. Other than that, thank you.
There's no fire chiefs here this evening?
Nope.
Police chief?
I just wanted to advise the board that late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, around 12:53 a.m., officers responded to a double shooting at Detroit and Kurtz in the lot just south of the A-frame store there. There's like a vacant lot right there. We had 2 individuals that were shot. One had a gunshot wound to the head. Second victim was located over on Coldwater Road, just a short ways away. He had a gunshot wound to the groin area. Both males were transported to the hospital. They are both in critical condition. We're hoping that one will be able to talk tomorrow. Witnesses were few and far between. However, thankfully, local businesses did provide surveillance footage of the incident. However, there's still a lot of questions that remain unanswered. Our detectives have been working this since it occurred, and just wanted to give the board a heads up as to what's going on. That's it.
Maybe full comments at the end? Okay. Wanna do it now?
No.
There's not going to be anybody here. Yeah.
Board comments. Mrs. King.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'd like to start off by saying thank you for everyone who came out and who, especially the ones that spoke and who are passionate about it. I feel you. I have abandoned houses around me too. And you're right, they bring rats and rodents and and the likes of folks going up into buildings that shouldn't be there. So it's an ongoing problem, especially in the Beecher area. I would also like to say thank you to Latrell for a great job again this year for our audit. We know it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, and yes, and we do appreciate you. I wanted to know what happened. The finance director had some concerns, and so did Yo and Yo, about our workman's comp checks and how they're reimbursed or dispersed or however that works. Can we find out a little bit more information about that and get it solved? Because it is, we're being told that it is a high risk way we're going about this, getting the money after the fact. So I really would like to see that worked on before we get bit in the butt, any more so than we already have. I spoke with the supervisor after speaking with the chief, and I'd like the board to be aware of it because I'd like to see it move forward. I'm sure our residents have spoke on it, and we have ourselves about the cars and the drag racing and the noise and the crazy that comes along with it. And Flint just adopted a new way about doing it, is they confiscate the car. When it's reckless driving, instead of just getting a ticket for it, they're going to take their goodies, their car. So I'd like us to look into the same thing and see if it's feasible for Mount Morris Township to do the same thing. I think that if they thought they were going to lose their car, they might be less apt to leave the trails that they do up and down Saginaw and Clio and all the other roads. Anything that's paved is going to have the little donuts in it. And you know, I myself have even had to call 911 because it's not always in the middle of the night. A lot of times it is in the middle of the night and it wakes you up, but sometimes it's right in the middle of the day. And we run a youth group, the karate school, and they're out there doing it 5, 6 o'clock right when I'm starting to teach classes. This is extremely dangerous. We've already had 2 of the 3 trees that we planted taken out. One was by a snowmobile, but the other one was by a car. And this is that crazy driving that's happened on that 5-lane highway that we call North Saginaw. So we need to see what we can do about it before we lose some lives. I'd also like to go back to the landlord-tenant rules, or however we're going to say that. I believe Leo Carey started that. We need to pick that ball back up because it absolutely a problem. There's houses being rented that should not be, that are not suitable for humans to live in, but yet the landlords are getting away with it because we have no ordinance stopping them. I think that's all Yep, that's all I have. I just want, again, thanks a lot, guys, for coming out. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Maxter?
I mean, I think, to back up on Mrs. King's statement, is, I agree also with the drag racing. I mean, I live on Stanley Road. In the last couple of nights, there is somebody, obviously, it must be a Scat Pack, it sounds like one, and they are definitely reaching speeds of excess well over 100 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
And I heard it woke me up last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, and somebody was just scooting down the road, and it's like, somebody is definitely gonna get killed. Whether it's them or somebody else.
Right.
And it is frustrating, I don't know, if we could get an ordinance like that where your car gets confiscated or impounded, and you have to pay an impound fee, it'd be nice. Also, it was a busy weekend. I didn't run the crim, but I did ref some football and played 18 rounds of golf at the K9 outing, and it looked like it was a pretty good turnout. I'm not sure how much revenue it generated. And Miss Oliver, my apologies. I didn't know you were suffering and had any issues. A couple weeks ago, I was wondering, I was like, I have not seen her in a while, and now I know. If you need any help or assistance, please let me know. Okay, and you'll be home tomorrow. I'll stop by and see you.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Mr. Mays?
Well, just a couple of things. It's good to see you again. welcome back to us. Also, you know, with some of the ordinance with the renters, because there's a house right across from me
Yes.
that have probably about 4 or 5 generations of raccoons living in it. I think the owners live in New York. But that house is terrible. It stinks. Got cats and everything else in it. And I know there's other houses over where you live that you have the same issues. So that is something that's a problem in our neighborhoods. And I think that kind of run good tenants away, okay? So yeah, I would be interested in looking at something about that. There's a few houses on my street that need some attention, but that's a concern of mine as well, just so you know. How's everybody doing today? Good. You all have a good evening. That's all I have.
Christina?
My name is Mrs. Keen. Miss Keen. I totally agree with you, Dora, about the speed drag racing. But anyone from Mount Morris Township flows down Pearson Road and cuts into Flushing Road, you'll see a condo that was struck by a car doing over 80 miles an hour, blew up. I mean, it's still burnt out, so you can go drive down and see it. It's at the point in Flushing. So we do have problems, and that's only a matter of time before this happens in our township too.
Right.
So I think we absolutely need to get a handle on that. I absolutely agree about the landlord-tenant situation. I know John Ryan, Flushing City, has a pretty solid ordinance
Yeah, and I represent them, so.
that they put together a couple years ago. And I think maybe, you know, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can look at what they've done and maybe get that adopted. Dealing with water bills right now, with landlords and affidavits, and it puts us, that situation pits us between the landlord and the tenant. And it's something I think we need to look at and revisit as well. So adding that to, you know, what's going on with, just the ordinance that we have for landlords and tenants, adding the water situation in there too.
Right.
We've had thousands of dollars worth of water payments come in, that's a plus. And, like you had said, once these folks actually receive a shut-off notice, then they can apply for assistance. Having worked for DHS, I know their processes, and if folks do not have a shut-off notice, they're not gonna get any help.
Right.
Has to be an emergency situation caused, and we are gonna give our residents time to apply and get those resources that they need. That was the whole basis for it. So, and then of course with the G card, they're tough. I've had what you had said to me, multiple phone calls today where it's like they're dialing in to a radio station trying to be that 10th caller so they can get their bill paid because they meet their quota. And it's it's their process, but at the same time, that need's not gonna change. You're just pushing your calls off to another date. So it seems a little more work than need be, but nonetheless, that is the process, and people are learning how to navigate that, and we're trying to be supportive of that and help them. We're not out to hurt our residents. That was the whole reason for the shut-off notices in the first place. And Catherine Oliver, it's very good to see you again. We were missing you and praying for you, so it's good to see you back. And of course, thank you, Mr. Holmes, for all your hard work and crunching the numbers and looking at budgets and making sure that we look at every detail before we make a decision. So, thank you. And thanks for everyone coming out.
Mrs. Walker?
I don't have much. I just want to also thank you to Mr. Holmes. Great job. Also, welcome back, Ms. Oliver, and also Carol, we're glad to see you. She was always coming up to the mic, and I saw her maybe about a month ago. I said, where have you been? It's important that we as residents come out and speak. The power lies in those seats, not necessarily in these seats. And at our last board meeting, maybe for about half an hour, I spoke with some residents outside, and I got some really good feedback. We may not be able to solve all of the issues, but hearing your feedback, it was really helpful for me to make some of these decisions we have to make. So thank you for your input. One of the things that I have said is so we can get one accord, and I know it's probably easier said than done, getting everybody in one accord, but we really want to get young people to come out and take an interest in being on the township. That is something I had talked to Ms. Sims about, and I talked to Mr. Green about, having students from the 5 different high schools to be a part of our meetings, take turns, and be like ambassadors so they can see and eventually maybe want to run for a position, because we're not going to be here forever. At least I don't plan on it. But, we're getting older, so we want to get our young people involved so that they can see what it's like and take some ownership in their township. And maybe they have some young ideas. They may have had some ideas on the whole installing the computers, because they're young and they know all of these kinds of things. But we don't have the young people here. So if we can get on one accord, and then we can invite students as ambassadors to speak up as to what they'd like to see the township doing and some of the things they like to have on board, that is very near and dear to my heart, that we get that done as soon as possible. So I'm encouraging our board members, let's try to work together and so that we can have that happen. Thank you, and everybody have a good evening.
Mr. Allen?
I share the same sentiments about drag racing and stuff like that, and it's good to see that the residents of the community come out and voice their concerns and opinions about what's going on, because we can't see everything. And once again, it's good to see Ms. Carroll. Haven't seen you around. Also, best wishes, Ms. Oliver, on your recovery, continued recovery. Also, just to piggyback on to what Ms. Loper was talking about, it's funny because I was already typing up a letter to go to our adult educations, our local community colleges, about getting the youth to serve on these kind of boards, whether it's your local school board, because being the clerk, and I try to instill in the youth, it's your primaries is what affects you the most. Your local school board, they complain about the lunches and everything else. You get involved, voice your concerns and opinions about your roads and everything else that affect you. So we're looking to do that with civic classes and stuff like that this coming fall. And just trying to stay proactive instead of reactive. And thanks for everybody coming out. Everybody be safe.
Thanks everyone for coming out and all your comments and concerns. Ms. Oliver, it's nice seeing you. And I appreciate you coming back and speaking with the board. At this time, we have an investigative report from Chief Veach. And under Act 267 of 1976, 15.268A, go into closed session.
Support.
Has it been requested by? Yes. Okay, is the employee present? Yes.